Welcome to the AME television show, everybody. I'm your host, Jason Dowd. I think you guys are going to have a great time with us because we got people to see, places to go, things to do, and we're going to do it with you guys today. Now, what's really cool is that we have some really cool things on our website. All you have to do is go to www.theamemagazine.com. It's there for you anytime. If you miss something, it's in our archives. If you want to see what we have coming up, it's there. But we want to inspire you. These people have walked the walk, they've talked the talk, and they're telling their story to help you and also expose what they have going on to you guys, so hopefully you'll be able to find something that you love that they've done. Also, very exciting news here, guys, coming up. We have a new app. Yes, it is for the Android devices right now currently, and all you have to do is go to our website. You'll find the little Android guy that's over there, a little icon. Click that. It'll take you to the Google Play, and you can download it. Or if you want to just go to Google Play directly, all you have to do is type in the AME magazine. It's that simple. It's free, and it allows you to keep in contact with us, and it also has links to our social media networks. Now, if you don't have that and you want to find us on social media, we're at facebook.com/the AME Experience and at Dowd Studios. All you have to do is go check those out. Keep us informed. Talk to us. That's what we use these things for, these platforms. And if you're an artist, we want to hear from you. It's that simple. So we are also working on our Apple app. It isn't quite ready yet, but it will be soon. So just keep an eye out, and we'll let you know when that comes out. So we have two great guests coming up today. Our first guest is Tony Germinario. He is the director, writer, and producer of a brand new movie called Bad Frank. This movie is about Frank, who happens to have a mental illness. He gets off his medications, and it does not turn out well for him. It completely changes his life. So we're going to be talking to Tony about the vision for this particular movie. He's going to give us an insight of how he got to understand this particular illness and exactly what it took to produce this movie. Very interesting stuff, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy the movie as well. So let's go talk to Tony Germinario through Skype, and we'll be right back after this. Hey everybody, I have on with me a very special guest. His name is Tony Germinario. He is the director of a brand new movie called Bad Frank. This is very exciting. I like to be able to talk to people and their creative processes through this stuff. So welcome to the show, Tony. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Oh, you're welcome. I love talking about people that are creative and be able to take things and make them into something spectacular. So kind of give me a little bit of a background. How did you become a director, and what made you, what inspired you, and who inspired you?
Sure. So I guess I've been thinking about becoming someone in the film industry for a long time. I've been writing scripts for about 10 years, but even prior to that, I was a touring musician for a while, but always was in the creative process. So I was a songwriter for a long time, but I've always been involved with film in some way, right? Either, being the one guy that saw every movie that was ever out, or being engaged with people that were involved in the film industry. And, when my musical days kind of started petering out, I got back into screenwriting. And that's really how it started for me, is I wrote a bunch of scripts. The first one was fucking awful. The second one after that wasn't as awful. And, they started getting a little better, and eventually I was hired by someone out in California. So I went to one of the web postings that said, hey, we're looking for someone to write a script. We've got the idea. We need somebody to write it. And I got hired to write that script, all the $100. But it was actually very good because it introduced me to a lot of people that have been part of my process along the way. So Joyce Skinner was the name of the guy that wound up hiring me. And, at the time, I was just a guy sitting in his basement in Jersey trying to write scripts. I didn't know anybody from anybody. So he was out in Los Angeles, but he's an East Coaster. He's a New York guy, so we hit it off right away. And he was an acting coach as well. So I wrote the script for him, came out pretty good, sitting on somebody's desk somewhere out in Los Angeles right now. But, we hit it off, and he had me come out to Los Angeles to come to one of his acting classes. I'd never been to an acting class before, and it just really blew me away, just what these actors did and how they did it, and, it was just mind-blowing. So after the class, I was on my plane ride home, and I wrote 2 short scripts. I sent it to him the next day. I said, hey, listen, if you ever want to use these in your class with your students, have at it. he called me up 2 days later. He's like, "This is great. We should make them ourselves." I said, "Well, how do you do that? I don't know what you're talking about. I write. That's all I do." He says, "No. We get a little bit of money together and we'll shoot the whole thing in 2 days over the weekend. It'll be great. It'll come out awesome." So we did that. We filmed 2 scripts within the course of a weekend. Brandon Heitkamp, who's actually in Bad Frank, was one of the people that started one of those short scripts. I actually wrote it specifically for him, and that was just really the start of it. We got into a bunch of festivals with those two. I wrote another short script that was kind of a more of a horror script called Seance. That did really well. We won a bunch of awards for that. And, then we wound up getting to where we are here with Bad Frank.
So, give me a little bit of a background about Bad Frank. What's this particular movie about?
Sure. So it's basically about this guy who has impulse control disorder. It's a mental condition that really messed up his entire life. So he screwed up all his relationships just because he has, no inner filter. Anything he says or feels immediately comes out. He just no results or consequences being thought about. So it's several years later since his younger days when he ruined all his relationships. So now he's trying to repair everything. He's medicated, he's married, he's trying to return to his mom and his dad and really repair all his relationships. And just as he's starting to do that, his medication wears out and he runs into his old boss. And everything just goes fucking haywire from there. It goes all downhill. It's nuts. So that's he turns back into the Bad Frank at that point.
Man, I can only imagine what it'd be like to live with some type of a disability like that. I mean, sometimes it's good to hold things back, but if you can't, my goodness, that's got to be interesting. How did you learn about that particular disorder to write about it?
Well, growing up, my mom actually worked at a mental health center, so I actually was exposed to some of those sort of things. Not particularly this one instance, but I was familiar with a lot of different afflictions that people had, and in this particular case, it really came to me just one night. I remember just waking up in the middle of the night, and I had this crazy idea about just a kidnap thriller of this guy and a girl in a basement, right? And that's what originally that was what most of the movie was. The original draft was really based around that. And then once Kevin Interdonato, the star of the film, and Russ Russo, one of the other co-writers, came on board, it really evolved into what we got now. And between Kevin and myself, we really investigated what the implications were of the disease and what sort of things might occur from it, what types of medication they need. I know Kevin went really deep into figuring out what types of medications he would take and that sort of thing. And it really evolved into something really cool. And Kevin's intensity in the part is just it's insane. He's getting a lot of awards for it, and hopefully things will continue and he'll get the recognition he deserves.
I think playing a mentally ill person has got to be probably one of the biggest challenges out there, because you have to have the mannerisms correct. You also have to kind of understand where they're coming from and put yourself into that type of situation. But also it takes compassion and everything else. What made him the perfect role for this particular character?
Well, this particular type of illness, it's really just no filter. Right, it's almost to the point where if you think something, you do it immediately. So, and there's a certain intensity for that, especially when someone's experiencing anger or if they're experiencing fear or something like that. To be able to turn that on and off effectively is a challenge. And in this particular case, he's dealing with some bad people. So either he's going to be experiencing anger or looking to inflict pain very quickly. So just in working with Kevin before, we worked on a couple things before, I knew he was a very intense guy. So when the project started coming together, he's actually the first person I thought of to fill the role. We wanted to make sure this film was, we were making it really cheap. We were doing it ourselves, being really cost effective. So I was thinking, like, for what we were trying to do, who is the ideal person that we could have? And there was nobody better than Kevin. I don't care if I had a $5 million budget. I think he still would have been the guy, because he just personified this character perfectly. So having him in the role and, the way he threw himself into it was just crazy. He actually, it's funny, during the filming, he slept on the floor in a garage because he wanted to feel uncomfortable, because when he was filming the scenes, he didn't want to feel, come into it all loosey-goosey. He needed to be a little ornery and a little, off his regular beat there, because that's where the character was. So he wanted to make sure he embodied that every time he was in front of the camera.
Wow, that's some dedication. I don't know if I could do that.
I didn't, man. I was sleeping in my own bed every night. It was great.
So, one of the big keys to a good movie, obviously, is good writing. And like you said, when you first started off, it wasn't always that great. What did you decide to do to make sure that this particular job and this particular script that you wrote fixed the issues from the first ones?
Well, I think, the more you write, the more you improve, right? So I studied other scripts. I studied the way, other people did things in regards to character development, in regards to story development. So those things were very important to me in kind of learning how to tell a good story, right? Because you could have the best actors in the world, but if you got a shitty script, you're going to have a shitty movie, right? But having a great script doesn't necessarily mean a great movie either. So I think, having the script and, getting the input from Kevin and from Russ, they were, very integral in the final components of the script, because, working with good actors, they know what their motivations are and they know how to really guide that into the telling of a story. So that was really instrumental in helping us get where we needed to be. So I think, at the end of the day, that's what really got what you see on film, right? I think the story really came together because the characters really worked and the motivations worked. And, we were very fortunate to get some awesome performances, whether it was Kevin and Russ or Brandon or, Lynn Mancinelli or Tom Sizemore or, Ray Mancini. For such a small, budget film, people would, when they see it, they wouldn't really know the difference between some of your low, mid-budget films for a couple $1 million. I've told people about how much we spent on this, and a lot of people still don't believe me to this day. They think I'm a liar, but I'm really not. So we're very pleased with the results.
Well, see, that's what's amazing. If you know how to work whatever the craft it is, you don't necessarily need a big budget for stuff. I've learned that throughout the years, and I've lived by it, because I always try to make it as cool as I can, whatever it is I'm doing, yet don't break the budget, so and make it affordable for all of us, because that also reduces a lot of stress on you and everybody else that's involved. Now, sitting back down behind that director's chair, you are literally taking every piece of artwork out there that's a part of this, from the actors to the backdrops to the makeup artists to the costume people and everything, and putting it together and bringing your vision together. What was one of the main things you wanted to accomplish to make this movie special when you sat in that chair?
Wow, that's a good question. So I mean, this was such a kind of a labor of love, if you will, because we made, like I said, we made this for next to nothing. We shot it at my house, at my friends' houses, and locations like bars that I hang out in. I say, hey, you don't open till 4. Can we shoot here from 8? And we woke up one of the bar owners because he was still asleep from the night before. But it's really important to me that when you have people dedicating themselves to a project like this, it was important to me to not only come up with a good film, but I needed to make sure that we executed it right so that these people get the most out of it, right? So all the actors, they work for nothing, right? And, the people that were the PAs and the camera guys, and those guys, when I first hired them, most of them didn't know me from anybody. So to have them put that type of dedication into it, it put a lot of responsibility on my shoulders, that I wanted to make sure that this film succeeds, not only for me. I mean, yeah, of course I want my career to grow, but it was also important to me to make sure that all of their careers grow, right? So for the people that acted in this, I want to see them go on to much bigger and better things. And I'm hoping that, by being in a project like this and trying to get us a lot of exposure and going to these festivals, that they're going to move on to some bigger and better things. And, even like my DP and my editor and, people like that, these guys, they work their asses off for knowing that it's not going to be a monetary outcome, but hoping that the overall outcome beyond that really comes to fruition. Because to me, that's the most important thing. If someone's loyal to me, I'll go to the ends of the earth to try and help them out. So that's why I'm really proud of the way this came out, the people that are in it, and I'm hoping we can get this in front of as many people as we can, just for them, because I think that's the most important thing to me.
So, what was it like seeing your movie on this big screen for the first time? Did it give you a little bit of chills down your spine?
It did, man. When you see that final product, I mean, it's a little strange because you're editing it along the whole way, and you're seeing all the rough cuts and the scenes and everything like that. But then when you finally see the finished product with the credits up there, and you see your name up there and all that sort of stuff, that's crazy, man. It's really mind blowing because I've been a movie fan since I was 3 years old, right? I remember going to the movies and seeing some of these older films. I remember going to see Star Wars when it first came out. I mean, completely floored by a film like that, and then you see something you worked on and created and developed up on the screen. That's just nuts. And being able to work with like Tom Sizemore and Brian O'Halloran from Clerks, Kevin Smith's movie Clerks is one of my favorites, and to be able to work with Brian from that film, that's inside just going crazy. Outside, I think I was very calm and mellow, and no one could tell the difference. But inside, I was going nuts. Tom Sizemore has been directed by Steven Spielberg, Oliver Stone, and freaking me. I mean, come on. I mean, that's crazy. So to be able to do that and then see it on the screen, that in and of itself was great. But then the reaction that we're getting, to have people actually react to the film in a positive way and like it. And the awards, they're great, but I don't expect that stuff. That's the fact that we're actually winning some awards. That's just like gravy, man. It's like, how did that even happen? To get from where we were to where we are now, that's just crazy. It really drives you to do more and more, right? So like more writing, more filming, more promotion for this film. We've got social media going crazy right now, so we're just going, anything we can to promote these guys. It just gets you all fired up. Anytime you're a little tired, you think about that, and you're like, shit, my fucking movie's out there, man. Let's go. So it makes it really cool.
What do you hope people get when they're done watching the movie? What do you hope that they take away from it?
It's funny. So I'm a pretty mellow, laid-back guy, right? And so when people first saw the film, the best reaction I got from one of my friends, he looked at me, he's like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? So if I could get that type of reaction, I'm pretty happy, because I think the film definitely sparks some interesting reactions. It's a darker movie. It's not. This isn't a Disney type film. I love those types of movies. I go with my daughters to them all the time. But this is not a film I would let my daughter see yet. So it's. But if I can get reactions out of people, and even if it's a little bit, wow, it's a little darker than I thought. That's okay, right? I just want people to see the film and get a reaction from it, because anytime you create something like that, if you can get a reaction, you're doing something. If someone's kind of like, that kind of sucks. But if you can get a reaction extremely positive or even extremely negative, you're probably doing something right. So if I can keep doing that, that's awesome. To me, that's the best.
So most importantly, where can people see it? Where can people maybe even purchase it if you have it on video on demand or anything like that?
Yeah, so right now it's officially coming out on July 7th. So people can pick it up right now, though, on pre-order on iTunes. We're actually trying to blow it up on iTunes. If we can get enough pre-orders, we'll be on New and Noteworthy, and we'll be up there with the Beauty and the Beast and all the studio Hollywood films. So we're trying to really pump it up so we could show people, what you can do when you have a real quality product. So we're on iTunes right now. We're also on Amazon for Blu-ray and DVD, and it'll be on a whole bunch of other platforms come July 7th. But those are the two main ones right now.
Perfect. And of course, how can people follow you on social media? Find you on websites or the movie website or whatever else you have.
Sure. So the film is on Twitter and also on Instagram. They're both on Bad Frank Movie. And for myself, I'm at Tony Germ on Instagram and Twitter and all that good stuff. And we do have a website, badfrankmovie.com. So we're just putting the final touches on that, but you can see all the information about the actors and the cast and the crew and all that sort of good stuff. And we're going to be pumping a lot of cool stuff out through all our social media stuff over the next about 6 to 8 weeks.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on here and sharing your experiences, your passion, and I wish you all the best, and I can't wait to see this movie when it comes out.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun.
You're welcome.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Limo Bob builds, sells, and rents the world's finest, longest, and most exotic limousines in the world. We provide every imaginable vehicle, from a 4-passenger town car to a 10-passenger Bentley Rolls and a Hummer for 20. We even have a one-of-a-kind 727 jet limo. And we offer a complete consulting package where Limo Bob comes to your location and shares 3 decades of experience in 3 days with you. Call 708-945-LIMO and visit limobob.com.
All right, guys, we are back. We are talking now through Skype, Maia Kavcheck. She is a lot of fun. She's full of energy, and she's infectious with her charisma that she has coming out. Now, she plays Egypt in a brand new movie called Truth or Double Dare, which actually takes place at a class reunion where they get together and they realize that some people went a little wrong, and they decide to slash each other. I mean, who knew? You know, I guess that kind of happens at class reunions. Well, it didn't happen at mine, but I just had my 20-year class reunion. And it's funny because we were talking to some of them before this, so I was always wondering, I wonder how true this is. I wonder how many of my classmates went completely crazy, but luckily none of them have. Maybe just me. I don't know. Anyways, so we're going to be talking to her about her career, everything that she has going on, and she's gonna make you laugh. She's gonna make you want to get out and watch this movie. I think you guys are gonna really enjoy Maia. So we'll be right back after talking to her, and we'll close out the show. Hey guys, we are here on Skype with Maia Kavcheck, and she is in the movie called Truth or Double Dare. She plays Egypt, and we're going to talk to her about her career and, of course, her character and the movie all in one session. So just sit back and relax and enjoy it with us. So welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
That's good. I'm doing good too myself. So last time we talked on the radio, you said that this movie is coming out for basically, I believe it was Halloween, right?
Yes, it's coming out this October. Yes.
That's awesome. So tell us, this is a different type of a horror movie. It's not really quite like a slasher movie, from what I hear. Tell us a little bit about the movie and what they can expect without giving away too much.
There are a lot of twists, like a Shyamalan movie, but not. No, it's the base of the movie is about a high school reunion that takes some unexpected turns. I think when we started filming, it started out as a slasher, and I feel like the filming process sort of transformed it into something else, which is a good thing. Yeah, you'll just have to see it. It's like almost October, right? July flew by really fast.
It did.
It's out.
You know what's really crazy about this is I just had my 20-year class reunion already, and I was sitting there thinking about this. I'm like, you know, this is about meeting a whole bunch of different people that you haven't seen in forever, and some of them turn out to be a little crazy. Now, I haven't seen any of my crazies at my 20-year reunion, but, I mean, I guess we're all a little crazy.
Maybe you were the crazy one and you just didn't know it.
That could be.
We're looking, but it was no, I'm just kidding.
And see, I was one of those kids that when I was in school, I never said much. So, you know, if I said anything, I'd probably scare him anyways, you know, so I was just one of those silent kids that sat in the corner.
It's always fun. You gotta watch out for it now.
That's right. That's so right. But I was thinking about this movie when we were there. I'm like, man, you know, I wonder if any of these guys are going to be like really like psycho killers or anything like that behind, you know, closed doors.
I feel like since we filmed, I have been noticing shows and like, I feel like every single TV show has touched on like a class reunion. Like one of my favorite shows is It's Always Sunny, and I was just watching it like I think yesterday, and it had a class reunion one, and I don't know. I feel like it's like when you want to buy a certain type of car, you see that car everywhere. And since we shot this movie about the class reunion, I feel like I see class reunions everywhere. So I don't know. One of those.
Well, I'll tell you, this is going to be a really interesting movie. What's your character all about?
Egypt is very sassy. She loves crop tops and she loves stealing people's boyfriends and husbands. Um, uh, yeah, she's just, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse, but she's the B word. She's not very, so, the opposite, sort of.
So, are you close to the way your character is in real life? I mean, did you kind of play some of it, or is it kind of like, how close were you to your character?
Um, okay, so, like when I'm hungry, I get really irritable. So I kind of just played that the entire time. I'm a very, like, positive person. My character, everything, ooh, hold on one second, so sorry.
No problem.
Can you still see me?
You're coming back, I think. But that's why I can edit this. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, so, she is negative. She sees the negative in everyone. She judges everyone, and I'm sort of the opposite of that. So I definitely had to dig deep into the irritable me that is hungry. Like when I'm hungry, like I get kind of rude, and I kind of just played into that the entire time. But that's the fun part about acting is you get to play someone that's not yourself. So
that is true. So,
yeah.
what was the best part about playing Egypt, and what was the worst part about playing Egypt?
Let's see. The best part was it could be rude. Like when you're in line for something and you just want to yell at someone and like you can't because you're inside. But it still was different. I got to play the person that didn't care, so I think that was kind of fun. And then the worst part was there are some parts of the character that I didn't like. And, acting is kind of experiencing those things when it happens. So I didn't really like who I was when I was playing her. And then we would like cut and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm such a bad person. But then, I'm not that person. So it was kind of like the best would be that rude person. The worst was being that rude person. Not fun.
I get that. So, what was it like playing in a movie like this? I mean, was this like your first time you ever played in this type of a movie, or is it something you're kind of like drawn to?
No, I swear my manager, she's like, you're just gonna get cast as a scream queen. For some reason, horror movies just follow me. The first film I ever did was a horror movie, but the role was definitely a lot different. I don't know. I feel like the people that I know and that I like to work with, they like scripts like this, so I'm always kind of involved in projects like this. The director, she was the one that brought the project to me. I don't know. I feel like my friends are just weird, so I'm always in like weird projects, and that's the kind of stuff I like to do. That's why.
Did you watch a lot of horror movies when you were growing up too?
I didn't. I hated horror movies. Like, I was the person that, like, kept my eyes closed and, like, I hate it. I think that's why I like them so much because, like, if I watch a movie that I'm in that's a horror movie, I don't get scared because I know what went inside. That's, right. Like, all dark. I need the script. So it's fun, like, watching other people get scared. And, like, I find it cool and that's like, oh, like, you're cool with your eyes. Like, you're scared one. That's the magic of movies. You know what goes into it, so it makes it like.
And of course, how's your scream? Because everybody that goes in these movies has to have a pretty good scream. Do you have a good scream?
Okay, no, I really don't. Like, I feel like. Okay, so we were on set one day, and I have a really low voice for a woman. I feel like, and like I feel like I don't have a good scream, and we were working really long hours on this one. So at one point, like, I almost lost my voice, and it was a screaming scene. And I went to scream, and nothing came out. Like, it was just like, it was just like, and I'm sure they had to dub over it because it was like, we didn't have a lot of time to shoot it, and like, nothing would come out. Like, we were so tired. Yeah. I really, like, I don't know why I keep getting cast in these movies because I feel like my like girly scream is like terrible. It's black. But if they keep casting me, I'll keep taking it. So.
And I don't know if you watch a lot of horror movies, you realize that in every horror movie, there's always that person that makes the bad decision. It's like you're being chased by a bunch of people. It's like, hey, look, there is a abandoned house through a cemetery, and we're going to go down there and go into the basement where the lights are on and flickering.
It makes me so mad.
Yeah. Do you tend to play those characters that do that?
No, see, that's why. Okay, so as much as like people say, "Oh, you're a scream queen," like my characters are usually either the ones that are not in this movie killing everyone, which sounds bad, or the one that like outsmarts everyone, like which I like because as like a woman, I'm like I don't want to be the one that's like, oh my god, like there's a noise outside, like let me answer the door and like lingerie, you know what I mean? Like, like it just doesn't. But I'm like, if I watch movies like that, like I'm the one at the theater that's like, seriously, like why are you doing that? Like I'm that annoying person where people are like. And I'm just like, dude, but like, this is like, what is going on? Like, I don't know. It just makes me. Yeah.
See, if I had to get cast in a horror film, I think I'd want to be the sarcastic person. The one that's always throwing sarcasm at everybody. Because I do that anyways. I'm a sarcastic person. I take it and I dish it. So I think I would be the one that would be sarcastic. But yet I'd probably be the one that they kill off in the first scene. So it's like, what the hell?
But dying on screen is super epic, so I can see the draw there as well.
So let's get a little bit of background about you too. How did you start getting into acting?
My background is in classical ballet, and then I went to college for theater, and then that turned into modeling, and then the modeling turned into acting on film. It kind of all just ties into each other. It's all just kind of like, entertaining. But my first like acting job was for the New Orleans 48-hour
film.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so it's just in 48 hours they got a topic, they wrote a script, they casted it, they filmed it, and they edited it, and you have to make a short film. And to me, like all I was doing was acting, but to see that group of people like pull together and create a quality product from that point on, like I knew that this is what I wanted. And I love acting, but I love being a part of production as well. Like I like having a say in creatively what happens. And with acting, that, but production, you kind of get to have your hands in a little more than that. So yeah, it's a way of life.
Well, that's what I love the most about it. I don't think I could be an actor or an actress, even though technically I love to get out there and entertain people, but I love being behind the camera too much.
Okay.
In fact, I almost don't even I don't take selfies. I don't do any of that stuff. So I mean, for me to be in front of a camera, I don't know what I would do.
You're like every single camera guy I've ever talked to. So like, I could never get in front of a camera. I'm like, but you shoot people every day. Like what? But I swear that is like I don't know.
Well, see, I'm always the one with the weird face, or I get caught sneezing or doing something stupid on the camera.
Do comedy. That's what comedy.
I mean,
it's very weird.
when I was in kindergarten, or no, first grade, the cameraman took my school picture and he caught me mid sneeze. So I had my lips flying out, I had my nose all screwed up, and you saw the mist caught in the middle of the picture. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better picture. I mean, that was amazing.
They printed?
Yeah, no, they didn't print it, but they gave you like 4 little slides of which ones you could choose. Yeah.
Oh, I would have framed that and like put it in my living room. That is.
It was awesome. I mean, you can't beat that. But that's the type of thing I get caught with, or I get one eye open, one eye closed, and I just look like I'm like,
When I first started doing photo shoots and stuff, I realized like I'm really weird. Like I would sit down for like edits with the photographer and like we'd go through like picking out stuff. And I think that's also a time when I realized I wanted to do film, because when they'd be like, oh, like let's just do a lighting test, like I would make weird faces and we'd be going through the edits and I'd be like doing like you know, like weird stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
why did you do that? And I'm like, I don't know why I did that. And then I realized, like, okay, you need to do comedy because, like, you can't be a real person. So.
Have you ever thought about comedy?
Hmm?
Have you ever thought about doing comedy?
Yeah, so I just, uh, I live in Atlanta, and I love it here because there's so many creative people, and I started doing these, like, skits, with my friends, and, I do this one. It's like a little spin-off show that me and my friend that live in New York do. It's called The Daddy Hunt, and it's about like finding a sugar daddy. But like I wear this like giant wig, and like I have like a fake butt in, and he's a man, but like wears this like red fro wig, and like is a woman, and I like contour his chest. And we went to Piedmont Park, and like the best part is that we film people's reactions to us walking by, but they don't know we're filming. It's probably illegal, but nobody got it. So and the best part is like when you go to edit the footage, you don't really notice people's reactions until you zoom in on their faces. Like we have literally comedy gold. Like there's this one I was editing. Garrett, the guy he plays a woman, he has his leg up on his bed in the park. He's standing there, and he's got one of my throw pillows in his butt. Like he's trying his butt. And it's windy, and he's like red. This is like a $2 wig from like the dollar store I bought like 4 years ago on Halloween. So it's just like straggly, and it's blowing in the wind. And he's just standing there like that with his leg up, and this guy runs by. He's literally like, and, like you didn't notice until we went into edit, and I was like, thank you for this blessing of a man. Like, I zoomed in, I did it slow-mo, like, I had a replay, like, it made the whole video funny, like, these people's reactions to, like, us that like, public. So.
See, I would do stuff like that, too. I could do that. I could do that all day.
Yeah. I feel like people take life too seriously, and when they see, like, two people in really bad wigs walking down the street, but talking in a Long Island accent, like, I feel like it makes people's day. I think that's why me and my friend Garrett that lives in New York, I think that's why we like doing it so much. Because I feel like comedy is released from the real world on people. And it's fun to make people laugh.
Oh, it is. I love making people laugh. And in fact, I'm usually the brunt of my own jokes. But I'm also, I went into this one place, I'm German, and I was just ripping on Germans. And they're all like, with their mouths dropped, they're like, I can't believe you just insulted somebody like that. I'm like, I am German. Who cares? I can have fun. I can have fun with it. But see, I would do one of those roasts, and I'd be up on stage, and I'd be like, you're this, you're this, you're this, you're this, mic drop, and I'm out, And the whole place would be just like, and there'd be some laughing, but some not laughing,
It's, comedy is a fine line. I was just in London, and I love, like, the British humor. Like, it's so quick, it's so smart, and a lot of it has to do with politics. And I went, and there was this gay, he was like gay, and he was like, got it. And he was telling the worst joke, but he was so quick. Like, they were, like, really offensive. And he was insulting gays, he was insulting lesbians, he was insulting Trump, he was insulting Republicans, he was insulting religion, like, stuff you can't get away with in America. Right. But it was so quick and so intelligent that before you could get offended by one joke, he was on to the next. So he'd be like, hey, I really didn't, oh wait, what are you saying? Like, it was the best I've ever been to. It was in London. But, yeah, I love stage.
I love offensive comedy. I think it's funny. I mean, it's hard.
Right?
I don't. People are just so butt tight right now. It's just like, just let it rip. I mean, you are what you are. I mean, just embrace it.
Yeah.
So
it's fun that way.
So what do you have? You have anything coming up? I noticed you've been really, really busy. So it looks like you got a lot of stuff in the works.
Oh my gosh, I literally live off of like gummy worms and like, actually, this is like all I eat. So I've been working on a web series called Seventh in Love. It's a comedy. Rajiv Staten, he wrote it, casted it, edits it, shoots it, like it. He's like my everything. He's amazing. We're in season 3 now, but we're about to air episode 3 tomorrow night. It's on YouTube. But it's basically like a sitcom. And the script is really funny. I play the lead of the band, like a love guru, but she's never been in a relationship. So, I just love this script because it's like she's always in her house, like typing, writing, and blogging. But then there's just all of her friends constantly coming to the front door. Like the front door is never locked. So there's just all of these, like all of her friends are always in her house. Like they're like, "Where's dinner?" And she's like, "What the hell?" Like it's amazing. Actually, 5 a.m. tomorrow, I'm going to shoot that because we have to shoot at a restaurant and don't really have a budget. So we have to go to a restaurant that's closed. So we're going to shoot that at 5 a.m. and then I have a fashion show at 8. So go from there to there, and then at 6, then comedy show at 7. It's okay. Life is good.
That's good.
So yeah.
Well, how can anybody find you if they want to keep in touch with you?
You can find me on Instagram or Facebook at Maia Kavcheck. It's MaiaKavchek. And then if you want to follow the Daddy Hunt, you can find us on Instagram at the Daddy Hunt or on Facebook as well. And then I also have a YouTube channel that's just under my name, Maia Kavcheck. And I'm starting to post all my comedy videos there. So it's just fun projects that I've done with local actors and
Well, Maia, thank you for coming on and spending some time with us and taking some time out of your busy day. I really appreciate this. I had a blast. You're a lot of fun, and I wish you all the best.
Awesome, thank you. I'm going to get back to my dinner.
You do that. All right, guys, we'll be right back after this.
All right, guys, we're back. We're about ready to close it out. I hope you guys enjoyed our guests today. They had a great time talking to you. I had fun talking to you and them. And we like to be able to do this because these people have walked the walk, talked the talk, and they are amazing inspirations for all of us. But also, they have opened our eyes to actually two brand new movies, Truth or Double Dare, and also Bad Frank. You know, all you have to do is go check them out, and you might have some fun. Sit down with your wife, your husband, your kids, your friends, your family, whatever, and watch these movies together. This is what makes special memories that we will never be able to forget. So, again, check out our website anytime you want. It's www.theamemagazine.com. Next week we have more great guests coming up, great places to see, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. And remember, we're coming into the holiday season now. We have football stuff that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be going and talking about Thanksgiving things. We're going to Christmas. We got a lot of stuff coming up, so this is going to be a lot of fun. It is the season for the holidays. So until then, guys, keep those creatures flowing, and we'll see you on the road.
Like, OMG, you were on TV and junk.